that voice, that itch, that scratch, whatever you want to call it, is effectively gone now. Not only is it gone, but it's been replaced with a voice that says you can actually do more. You can go harder than what the project was.
That's it. You can do more. Exactly.
Right.
Find the next thing now. What could I do even harder, more extreme?
Exactly.
I like it. Hey, what's up? I'm Steve Eckert, United States Marine, entrepreneur, and instructor of The Project. Welcome to The Project Show. This show is for men in search of meaningful transformations in their family, fitness, finances, and faith, so they could finally discover true fulfillment in their lives. Discovering this through physical, mental, and emotional hardships and sacrifice, so they can become even better husbands, fathers, entrepreneurs, leaders, and men. I want to welcome our guest today, a project graduate of class 006, Matthew White. What's going on? Thanks for coming.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Tell us about yourself. Where you're from. What do you do?
My name is Matthew White. I was part of class 006. I'm from Albuquerque, New Mexico. Currently, right now, I reside in, did I say Albuquerque? I think I said Albuquerque. I live in Carlsbad right now. I work for the city. I'm a firefighter for the city of Carlsbad, New Mexico.
Awesome. Good stuff. Good stuff. So let's get right to it. What was it about the project? Like, what made you join the project? You're a firefighter. You also do paramedic there too?
Yes, sir.
Okay, awesome. So it's not, you don't have right now your own business or anything like that, right?
No, sir.
You're a firefighter out in New Mexico. The project, a lot of times you think, and we get people say, "Oh, I'm not a business owner. I don't need to do that. I'm not a business owner." It's obviously not for business owners. You don't need to be a business owner to be a better husband, better father, all that stuff. What was your reason for even joining? Why did you even get registered? Why did it intrigue you? Why did you get interested in it? What made you want to become part of it?
I initially found out about the project through one of the instructors, Instructor Ray. And I figured it would be a good way for me to enhance my leadership. And then once I started learning more about it and the philosophy of the project with the 4 F-bombs, I realized that, even before, right, we can always be better men, I think. Even at our current state, no matter how good we are, we can always be better. So I knew that I needed to be a better husband, a better father. I can always do better and be better in those areas of my life. And the project, I felt, was going to help me to achieve more potential in those areas of my life.
What were some of the areas specifically that you felt like maybe you were struggling with, or you really needed you didn't just need to become even better, you just needed to get your shit together, unfuck yourself, or what struggles, roadblocks, adversities were you going through that you felt like the project was gonna be able to help you with?
So one area that I really wanted to improve on was my anger issues and my anger problems. I'm not real good at conflict because I've never been a verbal conflict kind of guy. It's
punch
always
him in the face. It solves everything, right?
Right.
That's very good at conflict. So you have conflict, you resolve it, you punch him in the fucking face.
That's how I always. That's how I grew up. That's how I was taught from my dad. Was hit a motherfucker. You know what I mean? So I've never been good at verbal confrontation. It was always like, hey, my thought process was, why are we going to fucking scream and yell and shout at each other? Let's just get it on. You know what I mean? But I felt like the project would help me to maybe de-escalate from that and learn how to handle verbal conflict better, which is kind of a part of the project that we went through is, calling somebody out and having to verbally go through those altercations without the physical violence attached.
Yeah, 100%. There's times you had to approach another man. Like
right.
men don't have that often these days. They'll go straight to fighting, and as much as fun as that can be, and that's the way we want to do it sometimes, that's not going to get you ahead in life. It's not going to get you in fucking jail.
It's going to ruin your career.
Yeah.
And I can't afford that. So
Exactly. So, and the project put you on the spot several times where you had to go stand face to face with another man and call him out on his bullshit, or have another man come to you and look you in the eyes. And it never happens in the real world. And that's why we put you in those spots where you're transmitting and receiving feedback. And that's a huge breakthrough. There's probably a pretty deep moments for you to go through that kind of stuff without being able to react the way you normally would react.
It was, especially because, in the environment that I work in, fire department, and it's a smaller department. We have about 100 guys. So everybody's got or tries to have this alpha personality, right? A lot of times we have these overcompensating betas in there that try to come off like that. And
They're watching it. Just say their fucking
so
name.
For me,
Just say their name.
yeah. So for me, that's where I want to go with them. But I knew that the project was going to give me that opportunity to try to handle those confrontations better without going to physical violence, because like I said, I have a family, I have a career, and I can't lose that over somebody that's not even worth it.
I remember in the Marine Corps one time, there was like this 5'0", he was like a staff sergeant or something. I was like a nobody, a little private or whatever. And the same thing you're saying, they just will let that rank get to their head. And I remember telling them, and it's not the right way to do it. The same thing, I had similar problems. I told them, listen, that rank on your shoulder is not going to help you when I'm fucking whooping your ass. So you just watch it. But that's not the way to go about things. It just made me think of that. So when you started getting ready for the project, you started thinking about joining, what were some of maybe the fears or doubts you had about actually joining the program, about actually getting started? Anything that comes to mind?
I remember having a conversation with Ray, because he was before he turned me on to you, and then we had our conversations about signing up and the actual financial portion of the project, right? Because that was literally the only concern that I had, was how am I going to pay for it? We know it's expensive, but like I tell people, what's your life worth after going through it? After going through it and getting back what I've gotten from, and I'm the F and G, right? I'm the fucking new guy. Everything that I've gotten back from being part of the Brotherhood already, how do you put you can't put a price tag on that. So, even the guys that I've tried to bring into the Brotherhood and go through the project like I did, they're like, how much does it cost? And I'm like, how much is your fucking life worth?
Well, that's the first question someone asks. That's not the right question to ask. It's
right.
How is this going to help? How can I become better at this and this and this? How is it will help? At least ask those type of questions.
Exactly.
Not how much does it cost. If it costs 10 cents, but it's going to give you a pile of shit, who cares? But if it costs $1 million, but it's going to give you $10 million worth of value.
Itself off.
Exactly. Awesome. So, and you're in the fire department. I'm guessing in New Mexico, they're not paying $2-3 million a year in the fire department.
I wish they were.
Yeah,
they take about half.
You deserve it. You deserve to get. Firefighters deserve to get paid that shit, but that's besides this point. So
I appreciate it.
So you found a way to make these payments and get it done. Do whatever you have to do to make it happen, because we'll have guys who are making hundreds of thousands of dollars a year that it's just too expensive. I can't put that in my budget right now, and they'll make all kinds of excuses. You found a way to do it. It's bullshit. It is. It's calling it straight what it is bullshit. So you found a way to do it, a firefighter in New Mexico, and found a way to get it done.
If you want it bad enough, and I know for like Ray says, right? We get these guys that do pushes with us every Saturday, right? I want to be a Navy SEAL. I want this. I want that, right? Like my mom told me growing up, want in one hand and shit in the other, and see which one fills up faster. She used to always tell me that shit as a kid, 10 years old. Want one edge and the other, see which one fills up faster. You got to need it. I needed it. Mm-hmm. So I found a way to fucking come up with the money that I needed to pay for it to fucking get my ass out here and get it done.
Good stuff. Good stuff. So all right. So you got registered. You figured out you're gonna make this. You're gonna figure out how to pay for it. You know you need this. You don't just want it. You fucking need this. What was your preparation phase like? Because you had a good few months before your class started. How did you prepare for it mentally, physically, emotionally? What did your preparation look like?
So initially, I want to say our class was supposed to be in September for class 6. And I want to say I signed up in July. So I had like 8 weeks. I think I remember it was like 8 weeks exactly. Now, of course, for my job, I have to my philosophy for staying in shape anyway, I got to be a big old hairy chested fireman, right? So most of my training is I do a lot of bodyweight training. Most of my training is a lot of power though, and as heavy fucking shit as I can lift on the big compound movements. It's just, I've changed, right? Because I used to box for a long time. My last competition actually was in 2011 at Fort McDowell Casino in Arizona. I fought at 175. For a boxer, that's like fucking humongous, right? But for a human being, to me, that's not that big, right? But going into the fire department, I knew where I needed to go. I needed to be fucking strong, and I needed to have anaerobic capacity for about 20 minutes, which takes me burn through a bottle on a fire scene if I'm working my ass off. But I knew that going into the project, I was like, this is gonna take some fucking aerobic endurance as well. Like I'm gonna need to be able to function for long periods of time, not just fucking 20 minutes.
yeah.
So I really upped my running and rowing, like a lot. I still kept lifting heavy shit, but I upped my aerobic capacity and anaerobic capacity. I used the project app that you guys designed with those workouts. Instructor Aaron, Instructor Ray, Instructor Steve put workouts on the project app. I use that. I've been following Mark Divine since probably 2007 or 8 maybe. So I use a lot of the SealFit workouts, which are fucking brutal. I don't know if you've ever done them, but they can be fucking pretty brutal. So I just, you know, and I'm also the kind of guy that's like, if anybody's like, hey bro, you want to try this in fitness? Fuck yeah, let's do it. Why not? Why not? Because it's not going to hurt me. It can only help me, right? Anything that can get me in better shape, let's do it.
And you attended most of the weekly workout. We had the live weekly workouts on Zoom.
On Thursdays.
You were on there pretty much every week. You missed maybe a couple, if that. How'd you make that happen? I'm sure you have a busy schedule. You're working at the fire department.
Yeah. You know, even when I'm at the firehouse, so you know, we don't run continuous calls. It don't matter what city you fucking work in and how busy you are. You never run continuous calls. You can always eke out fucking time. People also don't understand that, right? You can eke out a fucking hour out of your day.
That's the point I was getting
to
at.
Improve yourself.
You could have just said, well, I'm on shift. I can't do it. I can't come in.
Yeah, make some bullshit excuse or something like that and be like, you know, screw that. No. That, to me, that's not commitment. I made a fucking commitment, not only to myself, but to you guys. You guys are expecting and entrusting me to show up the best fucking possible candidate that you guys have ever seen. Like, that's my mindset, right? Show up and be the best motherfucker these guys have ever seen.
I like it.
That's what goes through my head. So if I'm sitting there bullshitting and being like, nah, you know what? Whining or some bullshit like that, making excuses for why I'm on shift and I can't work. What if we have a rough night? What if we get our asses kicked on calls? Fuck. That's all the time anyway, so who gives a shit? You know what I mean? And, you know, I don't know. I hear you. I like it. I can get pretty fucking salty.
Listen, that's what people need to hear out there, because we get the excuses that they're on shift, they don't have time. Everyone's got the fucking time. You could always figure it out. You always can make it happen. So let's now you make it into the project. Let's talk about the good stuff, the fun stuff. What's, from your experience, what was the something that you liked the least? Something that you didn't enjoy as much as something else, or your least favorite evolution, event, task, or something you actually didn't enjoy too much during the process? So
am I free to talk about the least favorite evolution?
You can get into it. If we get too much into details, I'll cut you off, because we do want to keep things, you know, a little bit. Yeah. So yeah, go ahead.
The dash.
Okay. Yeah, they know that. We put that out there. So
okay.
Yeah.
So maybe I won't delve.
I was the one watching your grave. No,
I know, and you single-handedly pulled me through it, because I would start, you know, hyperventilating, and I'm not claustrophobic at all. I'm a fireman. I go through fucking SCBA mazes, entanglements, and shit. It wasn't claustrophobia. It was something about the gas exchange of not being able to breathe in a little bubble, right? Because the closeness of everything, I was fine. It was.
I put a little more dirt. Because we each watched 2 graves. Everyone else sprinkles a little on there. I'm like, fuck that. I'm burying. They got to get the full effect. They got to go all in. They got to.
Absolutely. Yeah. And that's what I was expecting. And before it, I actually had my wife do it to me in my own backyard, which she got a fucking kick out of, because she was like, holy shit.
You're lucky she dug you out.
Not only that, and fucking God's honest truth, true story. On a stack of Bibles, I put it. I got 3 cops that live on my street. One of the motherfuckers is literally my next door neighbor. We share a fence. And she's like, this motherfucker's gonna come out into the backyard and see me doing this to you. What the fuck? And I'm like, just go, just do it.
The first time we ever did that evolution, we were in the spot where we do it, and it's always dead back there. We do that at like 2 a.m.
Right.
This is the first time we did it. We just started doing it. The guys are just getting into their graves. This fucking cop car pulls out back there, back on that runway where we do it, or in the secret location.
Right.
And he starts going real slow. We're like, fuck, this is going to ruin the whole thing. Like, what the fuck? Like, they're not going to listen to our, they're going to be like, these guys, they're taking us all in.
What the fuck?
This motherfucker went slow. He looked over, like lights were shining. He fucking took off. He's like, I don't even want the paperwork. I don't want to know what's going on. I don't want to end up in that grave. I'm fucking getting out of here. He took off. We never heard from him again. No problems. Good stuff. Good stuff.
I like it. So that was my least evolution. My least favorite evolution, I'm sorry. But again, I give you know, I don't even give credit for myself for hanging through it. I give you credit because you kept me going. Because, you know,
I heard you huffing and puffing. I'm like,
Right.
I don't want to have to carry this big motherfucker out of here because
well,
he's fucking heavy.
But you would say, hey, you all right? I'm good. Okay, cool. Hang in there. You got 1 or 2 minutes left, right? And then 3 minutes would pass, and you're like, hey, you all right? I'm good. I'm all right. I don't know how much longer I can go, but I'm good. Hey, hang in there, bro. You only got 1 or 2 more minutes left. And then another 3 minutes later, hey, you all right? And it just kept going until it was over. So, I mean, I owe you a lot of credit for bringing me fucking through that. And
I just want to have to carry your big ass carcass out of there. I'm like, fuck,
Hey,
it's
whatever-
like 3 a.m.
whatever the
Been up
motivation
all
is,
fucking
though.
day. I don't want to carry this big motherfucker out of here. I hear him wheezing in there and shit. Like, wake up, motherfucker. Good stuff. Good stuff. So then let's shift gears. What are some of the moments where you went through that kind of sucked, but in hindsight, you're like, you know what? That was just fucking fun. That was one of the most fun experiences I had. What were some things that stand out that were just funny or funny moments or stories that if anything stands out that you think back on?
I think, you know, we already kind of touched on, you know, combatives is always the best for me. It's always the funnest, right?
Which you actually broke your hand, I think, the first day,
I did,
right?
and I still actually can't even put, like, push-ups, I got to do them on fucking dumbbells because I got to keep my wrist neutral because putting weight through the joint this way.
But wait a minute, you broke your hand during the
still fucking
project?
hurts. Mhm. Like
first day?
Like 6 hours.
For
in.
a few hours in. So you should have just went home. I mean, medically, you should have just went home, right?
No.
You could have. You could have. You had a broken hand. I mean, come on, that's extreme.
Nope. That's not extreme. I didn't have a fucking bone sticking out of my body. That's not
What if you
extreme.
did?
Wrap it up.
Put some fucking duct tape on that motherfucker and
Wrap
let's keep
it up.
going.
Yep, wrap
I
it
remember
up.
that we just had to keep duct taping your fucking hand back together, and you just kept going at it. And there were
And I
even
even had
times
to do combatives two more times.
I was gonna say there were times to go again, and your hand was it's like a bowling ball on top of your hand at one point.
It looked like a fucking it looked like a mitt.
I remember coming up to you.
It looked waxy.
I remember coming
It
to you and
looked
asking
fake.
you, and I knew what the answer was going to be, but I said, you know, we still got to go do that again a little bit later. And your shit was fucking swollen. And I don't know if you remember your answer or not, but you're like, fuck it, tape it up, fuck somebody up. Let's do it. Let's do it.
That's it.
I like it. I like it. So then what were some of your favorite things other than that? What are some of the other favorite moments you have that stand out that you just had fucking fun with, that you just realized it's a privilege to be doing this?
The entire week. The entire week was like, I don't know, man. It was like having a chub for a week fucking straight. You know what I mean? It was fucking. I loved it. I loved every minute of it. Even the dash in the fact that it was my least favorite evolution, it still was powerful. There's a video out there too that the videographers put together, and you see me come out of the fucking bag, and I'm like, and I got this little fucking bitch face on because fuck, you know what I mean? Like, and then I kind of sat there after that frame shown. I kind of sat there for a minute and it was like, wow, just thinking about, you know, if this was real, you know, I really tried to get into it because I knew that it was going to be my least favorite evolution. So I know that that's the evolution that I needed the fucking
Lean
most.
into it, get the most out of it.
And so I just tried to really live in that fucking space, you know, where Bedros was like, you know, this is real. If you were to fucking die and be buried, right? How the fuck, what are they going to say about you at your funeral? How's your eulogy going to read? And it was just, that was fucking huge for me, man, especially when I start thinking about my wife and my kids and how important especially they are to me. What are they going to think about me? You know what I mean? But I mean, the entire week, as soon as we left graduation dinner, it was like, wow. It was weird because like right after graduation dinner, it was like, wait a minute, that's it? Like, I want more. Let's fucking go back to the fucking compound. Let me put my fucking t-shirt and my fucking wet shorts and my wet shoes and socks back on, and let's fucking keep going.
Hell yeah,
Just
I could live in the project. I could live in it.
Let's
I could
just
live in
keep
it.
fucking going.
Imagine when you could live your life like that, just everyday life out there. You're living with it, things are going fucked up. You think everything's so bad. Boo-hoo, poor fucking little me. Mm-hmm. If you could take those situations where you're fucking buried alive and gasping for air, thinking that you don't have any air left to breathe, and you could flip the fucking switch on that and turn that into enjoyment and lessons and learning and fucking fun, like literally having fun. Like that was fun. You had fun. Like think that you're impenetrable.
The whole week was fun. Like it was That's why I have a shit-eating grin on my face from ear to ear, because I knew it, man. It's like, I don't know. I'd see the little videos or whatever, and it just looked fucking amazing. And there was that little voice in the back of my head that was like, nah, you're a fucking pussy. You wouldn't be able to get through something like that. You wouldn't. You know, my own voice. Mm-hmm. That voice, that itch, that scratch, whatever you want to call it, is effectively gone now. Not only is it gone, but it's been replaced with a voice that says, you can actually do more. You can go harder than what the project was.
That's it. You can do more. Exactly. Right. Find the next thing now. What could I do even harder, more extreme? Exactly. I like it. Good stuff. Good stuff. So how is the project now since you've graduated? What are some of the lessons that you immediately got out of it that you took home and started implementing right away? Like some of the immediate lessons, like didn't even take time. It's just like you took this home with you and fucking implemented it and plugged it into your life right away.
The first big thing for me was my relationship with my wife, the communication. And Bedros was talking about how, you know, he kind of laid out the blueprint, and I know you talk a lot about it on social media too, about like time blocking, like mm-hmm. making time blocks, right, and being very disciplined and organized, right. I started implementing that with my wife first, nobody else, because my kids have always had my time block. They've always been the most important thing in my life. That's why I fucking live, is for them. You know what I mean? But I think over the last 10 years, my son is 10. My daughter, it will be 4 on 420, which is pretty appropriate. But like the last 10 years, she's kind of been, you know what I mean? Like it's kind of been the husband-wife relationship kind of got pushed to the side, I guess you could say, because all of our focus was on the kids. You know what I mean? And so we kind of lost track of, not trying to be all fucking fluffy and shit, like we lost track of each other like this, but reality says we did, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
in the real fucking world, we were so focused on our kids, raising our kids, that we forgot how to fucking take time for ourselves and do the things that we need to do to keep our relationship functional. So those are the things that I took back home and implemented with her, and it's changed our relationship as well. You know what I mean? Our communication's better. And it's all just by renewing that fire, I guess you could say. You know what I mean? And really say, look, we focus on our kids so much. Let's focus on us too. We don't have to stop focusing on our kids to focus on us as well.
You just use the same skills and habits you did with your kids and use it there.
Don't fucking make it rocket science. Just implement it. Implement it into your fucking daily discipline and your daily routine. You know what I mean? So that was the first immediate impact that I saw and that I implemented from the project.
Good stuff. So, and what are some of the longer term stuff that you kind of realize after the moment, you know, months later, weeks later, that weren't immediate, and then afterwards you're like, oh shit, this is why we did it this way.
There is so much information, so many lessons during the week that I still, you know, crack my battle book open, and I'm like, I need to go back to this one. Like there will be a lesson that I completely forgot about that we even had, and I'm like, fuck, I need to go back to this one. The red, green, blue mindset, right? Being military, we were always taught, you know, mindset white, mindset black, and then you got yellow, red. You know what I mean? Yeah. But the project kind of simplified that for me, and just blue, you're gone, right? Green, you're functional, right? Red, you're gone, and you need to come as close to those waves as you can, getting as close to fucking red as you can, but staying green. That way you're not completely fucking lost. Because like during the project, I would go red, especially when we were doing combatives. I'd go red. I think you had to take me down once as well, that I remember, because it was like whoa, like you're getting too crazy. You know what I mean? But that's again, I needed the project to help me with that kind of shit, and I've gotten better. I've gotten better with it. Staying green, getting as close to red as I can.
And you're talking about, because this is our language, we understand what you're saying, but just out for anyone watching out there, you're talking about just controlling your emotions.
Right.
Being in control of your emotions, the way you react, overreact.
The ED.
Yeah.
The ED.
Yeah. Controlling your damn emotions.
That's right.
Exactly.
That's right.
Good stuff. So let's stay on that. We're kind of go off of that. And how is having this brotherhood? I'm sure you have some type of brotherhood in the fire department, but how is the brotherhood of this project? Because now you have all different ages, all different areas of the country and even the world, different professions that you now have as kind of a support system, a built-in support system. How has that impacted your life, just being part of the Project Brotherhood?
There's one story in particular that we both know about. But first, the brotherhood. So when I was in the Navy, right, I was too stupid to be a Navy SEAL. I scored too low on my mechanical comprehension, got fucking sent to the fleet, and I was like, fuck. Because I was like the only reason I went into the fucking Navy, right? Got to the fleet, found out about the non-compliant visit board search and seizure teams, the VBSS, lashed onto that. So I did that for 4 years of my 5 years of active duty. Luckily, I got into that. Now, for the 24 of us, the brotherhood was very fucking tight-knit, like very tight-knit. We hung out off duty, like our families knew each other, like we were real fucking tight. As far as like the commands that we were attached to, there was some camaraderie there, but it was more like the fire department camaraderie. Like it's there, but it's there more in like, I don't know, like sections. It's not a department wide, like we're fucking super tight. Whereas the MDK brotherhood, man, I mean, guys don't even fucking know each other and are super fucking tight. And I guess it's because we all know, not only do we all go through the project together, right? Not together. You know what I'm saying? Together as in like we all went through the same thing, right?
You can relate to it.
Different classes, same, essentially the same thing. But like, you don't even fucking know somebody and you're super tight. And I think it's because we all know like I don't know you, but I know you. Like I know what your morals, like I get where you're coming from. Like I know that for another MDK, you're gonna go above and beyond and fucking lend a hand whenever you can with whatever that person needs. Which then brings me to the special situation that happened to me. My brother-in-law got out of prison, and 6 years ago, before he got out, he gave up his U.S. citizenship. That way he could get out of prison, which we were like, what the fuck are you doing, right? But he did it. Hey, he did it. I've never been in prison for 23 years. I don't know what it'd be like to have that deal on the table and be like, hey, bro, you sign that, you're fucking out.
I might have to sign it.
I may have to fucking sign it and go live in fucking Maui or some shit for the rest of my life, So he gets out, and we're like, fuck, we got to get out to California to see him. Of course, because of all this fucking COVID-19 bullshit, you can't come to California and get a hotel unless you're staying for 14 plus days. Okay, well, that wasn't feasible for us to come out here and fucking self-quarantine for 14 fucking days. So it was like, you know what? I don't know how the fuck we're gonna do this. Hey, let's put the MDK Brotherhood to the test. It was essentially me testing the MDK Brotherhood, right? I needed help, right? I needed help. Well, we always talk about how we're there for each other, right? Let's see. So I put a video out on our top secret Facebook group, right? And the fucking outreach that I got was far and wide. And I'm talking within like 20 minutes.
It was minutes, because I got to that video.
Ray called me like 20 minutes after I posted the video.
I got to the video, it couldn't have been more than a half hour. And I was watching the video and it wasn't even done. And I just commented, you got a place to stay here. And this is during Christmas. I know you were going to be there during Christmas. Yep. And I didn't go and tell my wife. I didn't go say, hey, we're going to have 4 strangers living at our house during Christmas. Didn't even tell her. I just saw it, didn't even finish it, put it on there. Little do I know, I look afterwards and you're like, it's already taken care of. And that was like not even 30 minutes.
I mean, it didn't even take an hour. Literally, it took about 35, 40 minutes, maybe.
And you graduated 005.
Yes.
The guy who got you first was
class
001.
Yep.
And so you guys must know each other for a while. You knew each other before? You never met each other. And I didn't even know the guy. Didn't even know him. It's like, fuck it.
And he reached out to me. Hey, bro, I live in LA. I got XYZ hookup on Airbnb. Dude, I can get you a full weekend for like 100 something a night. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding? Like, it was so unreal that it's like, are you fucking serious? So I call him, and now we're tight. You know what I mean? We've still never met, but we're tight. Like,
yeah.
like he knows me, I know him. You know what I mean? Like I said, we never met, but that's kind of that's like what the MDK Brotherhood does.
And I've always known what it's about, and you said it put it to the test, and it did, and that was another level of it. That I remember that happening, and it was like huge for me. I'm like, what we're fucking creating here is like, there's a dude from a fucking 2 years ago that graduated, another dude that just graduated now, never met each other, and basically he would have even welcomed you into his own home if he had to. Never met you. He wouldn't have had to go talk to his wife. Like the men out there, I have to go talk to my wife to see if I'm allowed to go do this boot camp class with these other men because I'm a weak leader, not being a good father, not taking care of my wife the right way. So I need to go ask my wife if I can go do this thing that's going to help me, and she's going to tell me no because she already thinks I'm a fucking loser. Like I'm getting off it because I'm just thinking of all the men that we talk to every day. But he didn't even need to talk to his wife because he's been through the project. Right. If he never been through the project, he would have, I would need to talk to my wife, and then she'll be like, fuck no. But you know what? She'll trust his decision making. He doesn't need to do it because he knows she's going to trust his decision making from the experiences, the skill set that he got from coming through the project. So like that story was like, and I tell that story all the time. I send out emails. It's a fucking awesome story. And it's like exactly what the project is all about. Having that, it's fucking awesome.
It is.
So on that note, what would you say to a man that's in your shoes when you first were realizing, all right, I need to do something like this right now. I know I need to do it. I don't know if my wife's going to be on board. I don't know where I'm going to get the money. You're having all these fears and these doubts. The little bitch is in your ear saying, I don't know if you're good enough to even do this. I don't know if you're worth it. I don't know if you're worthy enough to do this. What would you say to someone that's in those same shoes as you were back then, a few months ago?
I mean, I guess fucking like Nike, just do it. You know what I mean? I don't, man, the advice, it's kind of a hard question because it's like, I don't know where to begin because I've never been, worried about, because again, like we talked about, like my wife she knew as soon as I told her, hey, check this out, she's like, so when are you going? Because she fucking knows, you know what I mean? Like she's got my fucking back. She's a warrior, her fucking self, you know what I mean? Like, to me, it's like, just stop making fucking excuses. In the illustrious words of Freak Steve, no excuses.
It's right there, so I never forget it.
and just fucking get it done. I mean, I got it done. I'm a poor firefighter from New Mexico. You know what I mean?
No shit.
And I got it done. Take a fucking loan out if you have to. It's worth it. It's worth it. You can afford a fucking loan, I did it. You know what I mean?
That's awesome.
I'm living proof that you don't have to be a fucking 100,000-aire or some fucking, rich human being to go through the project. You don't. All you got to do is need it, want it, fucking bad.
Fucking figure it out. FIO, figure it out on the way.
That's it.
As you're going. Good stuff. So you're here, obviously, you took time away from your family for pretty much an entire week to come out here just to help out with this class tomorrow, so we appreciate you helping out with that.
Absolutely.
What are a couple pieces of advice you'd have for that group that's about to start tomorrow, or just any other men that are going through a fucked up day that need to figure out how to get through the day? What's some piece of advice you'd have for this group that you're going to be helping out with tomorrow?
Like what I said earlier, what's your life worth? What is it worth? What is it worth? Personally, for me, during our week in class 006, the quit voice for me was never there. I do remember a time, of course, we don't have watches. We don't know what fucking time it is. We kind of guesstimate, right? It was in the middle of the fucking night. It's cold, about 40 degrees, cold. We're wet as fuck, right? We're tired. And we get, a couple minutes to go take a piss real quick. And I'm standing in the fucking porta potty. I'm dripping wet. And I remember saying to myself, I could see, right? I could see why somebody would be like, you know what? Why am I doing this to myself? I just want to go home and fucking have hot chocolate and put my fucking slippers on or whatever and fucking...
I could picture you sitting with your little fuzzy slippers and
I got them at the house. But you got to put the fuck out to earn that shit. You know what I mean? Be ready.
So it's the middle of the night, cold and wet on the piss break. When you had that little thought about understanding how people could do it. So now I'm going to take, I always take notes. Right. I always tell them. Now I know when to really go all in on these dudes tomorrow is cold, wet, middle of the night.
Yep.
Done.
and fucking make them see at some point. See, I kept telling the guys too when we'd be by ourselves and the instructors aren't around. Hey, it doesn't fucking matter what they do, right? I've always had this good understanding, right? I don't look forward. I'm not looking forward to Friday. It's fucking Tuesday at 2:00 in the afternoon. We're already getting hammered on. I'm not looking to Friday. I'm not thinking about a fucking steak dinner. I'm thinking about what the fuck do I have to do 2 feet in front of me to smash the evolution that we're going through right now? What do I have to do? Find it. Just fucking find it. KISS, right? The KISS principle, right? Keep it simple, stupid. Keep it fucking simple. Put one foot in front of the other, right? I was doing great. 6 hours in, smashing people, all this other stuff, doing great, right? Guys are like, oh, he's number one, woohoo, right? Everybody's riding on my shit, right? All of a sudden we get to the fucking pit, and guess who's the slowest motherfucker in the pit? Me, big old Dumbo, right? Slogging through the pit.
This is one of the worst fucking crawlers I've ever seen.
Oh,
what the fuck?
Hey, it was bad.
I'm glad this building's on a fire because you're
bad.
fucking roasting.
That's why, hey, but I had PPE on when that's going on, all right? That's unfair. No. But, yeah, the crawling shit kicked my ass. Crawling with a sledge, I don't know what the fuck it was. I don't know if you need some kind of special fucking coordination for that shit. I don't have it. I don't have it. So, I mean, I'm just like, hey, put one in front of the fucking other. It doesn't matter how. Don't look pretty. You don't have to look fucking pretty. Just get it done. And I remember Bedros coming up and he's like, Mr. White, I think we found your kryptonite, right? Because you've been kicking fucking ass like the entire time. Now all of a sudden we get to the pit. You look like shit. I think we found your kryptonite. Looks like it, sir. But I'm going to keep going. He goes, are you sure you don't want to quit? I said, I will fucking crawl back to New Mexico through this fucking pit if I have to, if that means I'm going to graduate. Because that's where my mind was. It didn't matter what was going to happen to me.
And you made it there literally one step of an arm at a time.
At a time.
You knew the goal of, goal is obviously Friday. That's still the goal out there, but that's not what you're focusing on.
Not right in front of me.
Think about it. That's in life. That's a lesson for life right there, right there. That's like gold right there. Focus on the moment that you're in right now. Focus on this fucking interview. Focus on whatever task at hand. And that's where you're going to fucking dominate. That's where you're going to get. You're never going to get to the other thing if you start looking past it. So right there is just boom. Right there is fucking a golden nugget there in life in general. Focus on the present. And most people don't do that, I don't think. They don't focus on the present moment. They don't focus on the time they're with their kids, right? Playing on their fucking phone, tweetering, and all this other bullshit.
Shit irritates me.
When they're supposed to be hanging out with their kids and playing with their kids.
That
and
shit fucking irritates the shit out.
That's not presence. That's all right, good stuff. So I appreciate you taking the time out of your life and away from your family and kids to come help out. And I'm excited for the next level of growth that you're actually going to have this week from now seeing it from another perspective.
Super excited.
It's going to be fucking awesome for you. Just as awesome or even more awesome than when you're actually doing it yourself.
I'm super excited.
So thanks for coming.
Yes, sir.
And if you've got any bits of inspiration, any way that this can possibly help you to become an even better father, an even better husband, an even better entrepreneur, leader, or an even better man, just like, subscribe to the channel, send a comment, share this video with your friends, your family members, your coworkers, your enemies. Let me know if you need anything. Put some questions, comments down below. Let's talk about it. We can see if you are a good fit for the project. We can hop on the phone, see if you're qualified, see if you have what the fuck it takes to become a modern day knight. I will talk to you soon. You are fucking awesome. No excuses.